Yeah.
It's been a long day, so.
Ooh, I get you. Oh yeah. Oh my God. I guess what do we call this? Is this a wrap up show?
Yes, it
I
is.
don't.
It's called a wrap-up show. It's called a
Is
burrito.
this? It's a burrito. Oh my
It's called a
God. This is
burrito.
the end of this is Fantasy Suckers. We are live streaming again to end the year for what we would call our Fantasy Burrito year one. This is our anniversary.
Let's make it a thing. Burrito.
The Fantasy Burritos. This is the wrap up for the entire year. And some people had wraps full of chicken, just allow all the meat they wanted, rice, beans, and then some people just had a tortilla. So we're going to talk about some of the best players this year, some of the most surprising picks. But first off, please like, subscribe. It's your boy Johnny, and I'm here. My boy, the Drunken Master Boxhead. What's going on,
What's
bro?
up, guys?
What is up? We're here for one more time. I guess for
Football season has flown, and I'm gonna miss it, but I'm gonna enjoy these playoffs, though.
Yeah, it's funny. This is I guess the second time for this year, but it won't be we're not gonna get to the next season until September. So it's gonna be a little while. We'll definitely get to you before then because it's
we'll do like fantasy advice to pre-draft and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, I actually would love to do some type of just a catch me up thing around the NFL or after the NFL draft.
Yeah.
But we will get to that when we get to that. But right now we're just talking about the 2022-2023 NFL season, and man, it was a doozy. It kind of it's crazy. I don't want to. It definitely lowered the expectations. Every season does, but there were a lot of people,
out there.
A lot of surprises this year more than other years.
I feel so. I feel like the NFL this year was more central heavy. There weren't a lot of heavy hitters, and everybody was kind of sitting in the middle, just battling it out. Minus the Kansas Cities and minus Kansas City, Buffalo, and Cincinnati, literally. But
yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, they were the best teams last year too. But let's for now, let's get into it, man. I always wonder about this in fantasy football. When you look at the end of the year and you look at the highest point scores, right? What is it always? What are the top?
So I was just looking at it too, but before you jumped on, I'm like, why do we as fantasy guru or fantasy suckers, why do we always draft running backs first? Why do people always draft running backs first? I was saying I understand in if you're in a league that has two running backs, that makes sense, but in our league, even where we only need to require where we only require one. Looking at this list here, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, those are your top three fantasy scorers on the season. Three quarterbacks, right?
Three quarterbacks.
And in the quarterback list, there's the top 10, 4 of them are quarterbacks. 4 of them are wide receivers, and 3 are wide receivers, or 3 wide receivers and 3 are running backs, something like that. Yeah, and it's just it just tells you that fantasy has changed so much over the last few years.
I kind of always thought it was like that. I always think all right.
I guess it might have been like that, but we don't look back at it like that because we didn't do this last year, a podcast, going back at the end of the season.
It's that's true. No. Well, I always would. I would look and usually it's actually less this year than normal. I thought it would be a lot more. It's usually 7 out of the 10 are quarterbacks, and then everybody just seems to there'll be a few quarterbacks taken in the first couple rounds, but people tend to wait, and I'm like, but they're the ones that score the most goddamn points. I almost think maybe it'd be crazy to next year is you know what, I'm just gonna take Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, my first 2 picks, and tell everybody
if only you could flex a quarterback.
I mean, that's true. But I'd rather flex nuts, halfway through the season and be like, trade me somebody for him. Like, I mean, I got one of them would be bad, or might be smart enough that.
Sadly, we can't do that because Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen are likely getting kept. And so is Jalen Hurts, as we are in keeper league. But
that's true, man. But all right, let's go to the quarterback, seeing as they are mostly in the top. Let's see, just quarterbacks. All right. The surprising.
Yes, very surprising.
Surprising fact.
When I was looking at this as well, look at that. Geno Smith, fifth.
Geno Smith. Top 5. He's top. Now, all right, this is the Seahawks thing. Like, do you think like they got to bring him back? I mean, they're gonna probably draft a quarterback one way or another. But like, I mean, you got to bring him back. I mean, I feel like he's played it well enough.
They'll probably draft a quarterback in like the later rounds. I don't think they're in the running for a first rounder because I think they're picking. Wait, where's their pick?
It doesn't matter yet. I mean, we don't know yet because they haven't lost. But
oh no, they're oh yeah, that's right. I think they do have a top 10 because I think they have a top 10 because they acquired it from the Saints or something.
No, from the Broncos. They have Broncos, a bunch of picks.
So is that the third or the 9th pick? It's one of those. It might be the third pick.
Yeah, I think they might have a top wherever the Broncos were. So it's probably a top 10 pick. I'm sure you're checking it out now, so I'll probably lose to catching up to you. But the fact that Geno Smith is a top 5 pick. Geno Smith threw for 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. That is
ridiculous,
mind-boggling. I think he missed a game, and it's like that's a crazy resurgence.
Seattle has the 5th pick.
Or the 5th pick. So yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
they are in the running for a quarterback if they want a first-round quarterback, but I don't know if they're going to go that route.
Now, here's a question: as two teams that desperately need quarterbacks, would you be happy with Geno Smith? Seems like you can't be mad.
No, I can't be mad. To be honest with you, I can't be mad because we have a lot of pieces around us. We have a good running. We have a solid offensive line. Give Geno all the time he wants. We have we have DJ Moore and Terrace Marshall, and probably could upgrade our wide receiver core a little bit. But we have a good running game, so those are pieces in place for a successful quarterback. We don't necessarily need a top tier, but a rookie would actually thrive in our for us. I feel.
Okay, I mean, you still might want to get that, but I'm just saying that Geno Smith still seems in that realm of.
I would be okay with him, to be honest.
Of a 1 year, type of deal person, but
like a bridge quarterback. Yeah.
Look, I hate that. I hate that fact for him after we just watched what he did. I mean,
I love Geno. I loved him in college. I was a big fan of him.
Look, if I don't want to pull the Lovie Smith race cars, but if like Ryan Tannehill made a good amount of money going, from Miami to Tennessee. Like, he got him multi-year. Yeah, very overrated. And obviously, now a team like Tennessee, would they be in the running for somebody like Geno Smith? Because if Seahawks are going to draft somebody at that 5 pick, I feel like these days you got to start them. You got to start them. So like, and that's so sad that you can be a top 5 quarterback, and that's through fantasy. He's still like 7 or something like that, or like QBR type of shit. Like still a top 10 quarterback. Like Kirk Cousins would get tens of millions of dollars off of this season. All right. And I just hope Geno Smith maybe he stays in the Seahawks. I just can't see it. But I mean, I hope he's definitely played his way into a starting job again next year. But
yeah, he definitely has.
Will he get his big contract?
Those are good numbers. 30 and 11.
30 and 11.
3 to 1 ratio there. That's good.
That's a 3 to 1 ratio with 4,000 yards passing over the season. All right. He had 4 fumbles. Yeah, not so.
Well, that's solid, man. That is absolutely solid.
So, crazy.
The one thing I did notice that, like, if you can
Like, look
go
at Kirk
through it.
Cousins, the 13-3
Yes,
Vikings. Kirk Cousins, 4,500. He has 29 touchdowns and 14
14
interceptions.
interceptions. Yes.
So he had technically more turnovers and less scoring than Geno Smith, and Kirk Cousins and the Vikings are a top seed and third. But
Third seed.
I mean, they're definitely seeing it at a higher clip than the Seahawks, obviously, and
Daniel Jones is a top 10 quarterback on this list. He's number 9 on that.
And Jared Goff rounded it out at 10. This is crazy.
And then I was looking at it like when we were looking at it initially before we filtered to quarterbacks, how many players Daniel Jones was above? Like, I think he was like a top 20, like top 25 fantasy player. And he was above like so many good players. I'm like,
goes to coaching, man.
He is playing himself into a contract because he's a free agent as well. And I'm kind of wondering if the Giants bring him back or if he.
I was saying that to a Giants fan just earlier today. I was saying, like, as a Commanders fan, I'm really happy that Carson Wentz stuck it up. He lost, and he's going to be gone. I don't want to equate these two players because they're different, but I'm like, as a Giants fan, well, now you got to pay Daniel Jones. Mm-hmm. Like, if you were iffy about him before, like, okay, maybe the coach did change him, but maybe you're dealing with like a still mediocre quarterback type of thing, But if Dable's that type of coach and he can keep pieces around him and they can keep Saquon healthy, which is the hardest part. Mm-hmm. Who says they can't be like San Francisco was? And I see Daniel Jones as like fast Garoppolo.
I personally like Daniel Jones a lot.
I mean, I'm glad he's starting to pan out. Not so much happy as a Washington fan, but I mean, I'd rather our division be good than terrible. And Daniel Jones at the witching hour found a way. Like so many of these other stories, as Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold, like go the opposite way right at the end of your rookie contract. Like, oh, finally I can get it done. And I say good for him. And I was trying to transition earlier, comparing with Kirk Cousins. I was trying to say with Geno Smith and how much he's better. But when you have a wide receiver like a Justin Jefferson, who like he makes Kirk Cousins good.
Mm-hmm. He does most of the work. He gets open. He gets these amazing catches.
Like certain people, and the reason I would tie it in with that is that Daniel Jones doesn't have a top receiver. He still figured out a way to get a lot of fantasy points. A lot of it, I believe, was, let me go back. A lot of it was rushing.
Daniel Jones, he had like 800 yards rushing.
That's crazy. 700 yards rushing.
700 touchdowns too,
and 7 touchdowns rushing. That is crazy. So he is just behind Josh Allen. He's right there with Josh Allen, 762.
Yeah. And Jalen Hurts.
And Jalen Hurts, who had 13 touchdowns, though. Let's not.
Sheesh.
And also missed 3 games.
Yeah.
And had 13 touchdowns rushing. Justin Fields, who also missed 3 games, had 1,100 yards rushing and 22 yards. That's like really like old school Vic style there.
Hey, he had 17 touchdowns passing, which I actually, it's higher than I thought it was.
Yeah, really, and 11 interceptions thrown, which is a lot less than Dak Prescott. That's the greatest thing I love about this list. I don't see Dak Prescott on it, and he's getting paid even more than Russell Wilson is down here. Dak Prescott getting $40 million. I just want to revel in the debacle and how, when you're like right about something, prediction, makes you feel good. This has been like 5 years in the making. Like every horrible decision they made, like I saw 5 years ago, just like went into like a fucking toppling Jenga effect. Like it just it just went downhill year after year. Just I was like, this. Oh, it was the second they decided not to pay Dak, and they decided to pay Ezekiel Elliott. Then in that same year, I believe they traded the number 1 pick for Amari Cooper, or it was the year before. I forget. Doesn't matter. They wasted the number 1 pick, got Amari Cooper. Then they paid him before Dak. And then Dak got injured, missed the whole year. They're like, all right, we suck. And then while he was injured, they were like, we got to pay him the most money ever. And it's taken 4 years. When I said, like, it was the same time, like Jared Goff and Carson Wentz got paid. And that time they got paid and had been cut and sent off somewhere. Dak should have got paid like 4 years ago. He'd be on like a $27 million contract like Carson Wentz was, or Jared Goff was. Who would have been a much fucking better team. But now they're handicapped by the fact that Dak Prescott is getting paid like a top quarterback, just like the Vikings. That's their highest ceiling, the Cowboys. It's the Vikings, because Dak is white Kirk Cousins. I mean, black Kirk Cousins. Sorry. Dak is black Kirk Cousins. They are the same. They're one and the same. Fucking yin and yang, the white and the black. They're middle of the fucking road. And when you have to pay people that fucking much.
That's a good comparison right there.
That's who they are. So Dak, I'll scroll down. How far do I have to get down to Dak? Like, because you look at Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's right under Aaron Rodgers.
Dak is under Kyler Murray, right above Marcus Mariota.
Did I miss him? Oh, there he is. I see him. Right above Marcus Mariota. Let's just talk about how he's sandwiched in between 2 players that are on injury reserve and miss more than 6 games. How Dak Prescott is stuck in between that. Let's not forget Dak Prescott missed 4 weeks, right?
He missed quite some time. I think it was like 5 or 6 games.
I think, all right, maybe missed 5 games. Okay.
And then he ends up leading the league in interceptions.
And he still leads the league in interceptions. Yeah, he's 23 and 25 for 2,800 yards. That looks like old Jason Campbell numbers. Like, you can't win with that. I know personally. Jason Campbell does too, and nobody knows about Jason Campbell anymore. Like, if anybody was like on YouTube watching, like, who's there? I have to like look them up. So yeah, that's pretty funny. It's pretty sad. I'll say this now, just gotta have it on record. My worst nightmare is I keep like thinking we're gonna sign Derek Carr like to Washington. Like, no, why? Why was we keep signing these mediocre, terrible quarterbacks? My wet dream is Baltimore being stupid and telling Lamar Jackson to walk on down. Just, you don't even need to sell your house, Lamar. Just come right on over to FedEx.
Speaking of Lamar Jackson, do you think the writing is on the wall for him in Baltimore after Roquan Smith gets a 5-year, $100 million deal? So mind you, the Ravens only had, before the deal, they had about 42 million free.
Okay.
No, they had they had 48 million free. Sorry, they had 48 million free. So that's 20 million average. So that should take them about like,
well, it's only 40
30 million.
It's 43 million guaranteed. So
yeah,
they might have.
Well, that's how much is in that first year.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna have the franchise. They're gonna probably have the franchise tag.
Well, that's why they did that. I think they have to be at a certain salary thing to be able to franchise tag or something silly like that.
But the franchise tag for a quarterback is going to be like $48 million.
I believe they'll probably do it and have to.
They're going to go into luxury tax.
It's so silly. Yeah. Maybe not, but like I said, it's my wet dream that they don't do it and he just stays in area. Like, you don't even gotta. It stays pay the same tax. We're in Maryland. Landover's in Maryland. That's where the stadium is. You can go right there, buddy. And where he finally have wide receivers. Like he's never had wide receivers.
No.
And the line doesn't need to be amazing because his running abilities terrifies every defensive player. That like the line doesn't need to be much. And Brian Robinson would just be beautiful with them. It'd be great. So I would love for that to happen, but I don't see that happening either way. I don't know. I don't think the writing's on the wall. I can't see it. I don't know. Like,
you know what?
They've had the worst offense in the league since he's left.
I imagine if Baltimore does not end up re-signing or ends up letting Lamar go, stupidly, he's going to Miami.
I believe,
because I think Tua is done. He should retire. He's not going to play in the playoffs.
I get you. I believe.
And that no tax, baby.
All right. Well, here we'll take gentleman's bet. All right. You say you could go to Miami, pay no tax. Speaking of which, because of the history, I believe perfect gap person to go in between Tua and a new quarterback is your boy. You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. TB12 to Miami, just like he always wanted.
No, I think TB12 is going to end up in Vegas with Josh McDaniels.
Well. Yeah, okay. That's what I'm saying. That's where I believe we
and Davante Adams
agree. I believe that I do. I mean, okay. I mean, maybe he ends up in Vegas. He does like to cheat. But also Jalen Tariq Hill, like he already tried to do this coup with the Dolphins. He tried to become the owner and all the other stuff too. So hey, maybe he'll want to deal with Josh McDaniels and whatever. That's not a bad secondary get, but I would God, where the hell is Derek Carr gonna get? What silly team is gonna let Derek Carr be there? Because I'm just wondering about that. But
go to the Jets.
Maybe they'll go to the Jets. He is better than Zach Wilson. He's serviceable enough. But let's go back to, as we were just breaking them up, to Tariq Hill had a great year. He ended up coming second in fantasy points. So top three: Justin Jefferson, Tariq Hill, and Davante Adams.
It's a good list.
It's a good list, man.
That's actually a solid top five right there.
Yeah, I don't know about that last one. I kind of wish. I feel like AJ Brown would have easily been above that or whatever if his quarterback didn't get injured. Unlike CeeDee
probably.
Lamb. I mean, like CeeDee Lamb, whose quarterback was there and it still sucks.
Look at that, though.
Yeah, but
AJ Brown and Devontae Smith in the top 10.
In the top 10. That is pretty telling. All right. And I almost feel like, look, Jalen Hurts probably be second in the running. Because we saw, I think Patrick Mahomes is the MVP.
He's definitely the MVP.
I mean, I just I don't know who his top two wide receivers are going in any game. Like, he's taking the Giants' old receivers and making them look decent. Like Juju Smith's never playing. Like, I don't even know who's ever playing. I don't know who's playing for them at wide receiver. This Patrick Mahomes. This is why he's the GOAT, because Patrick Mahomes reminds me of old Tom Brady. It's like, I have no clue who you're throwing the ball to. You're just fucking amazing, and somehow you're winning.
I saw a graphic for the ages of all the AFC quarterbacks, and Patrick Mahomes is the oldest at 27.
Man, that's crazy, dude. And he definitely has, by traditional, 6-7 years of his prime left. And
it's absolutely crazy.
And eventually they'll have other, and he just proved it doesn't matter. But it's like, it doesn't matter who's there. Like Tariq Hill proved, as he's ended up being number 2, that he is basically a cheat code. He's the cheetah. He would be number 1. He missed 2 games, I believe. Tariq Hill. I think
something like that.
I think he would have been missing 1. The fact that he lost by 99 yards
99, yeah.
means that 1 game he could have very easily.
I know he left a game extremely early, as well.
Yeah,
I think it was like 2 weeks ago where he left extremely
not
early.
Not only that, Kirk Cousins played with Justin Jefferson all year. Tariq had to play with fucking Teddy Bridgewater. He's had to play with Skylar Johnson or whatever the fuck.
Skylar Thompson.
Yeah, I don't even know who he is.
And he's gonna have to play with him again.
His name was Skylar. I thought it was a white chick from Beverly Hills or something. Like, I don't know. His name is Skylar Thompson. It's by far the whitest name ever. I can't even think of. Yeah, I really can't think of a whiter name that's not old timey. There's some old timey white names, but yeah, Skylar's new age. Jalen Waddle also, as you see there, in the top 10.
Yes, sir.
Jalen Waddle, and that's if you're trying to figure out who the best duos are, you gotta wonder, is it Tariq Hill and Waddle then, and is it Devontae and AJ Brown? I don't know. I would probably. Who would you take?
If I wanted to draft 2 of them?
No, if you just had to pick one of the duos.
Oh, one of the duos?
Yeah, of like.
I'd take Miami's duo.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because it is, obviously just scoring more points. But
I feel like,
I think Devontae
Philly's duo is very consistent. Like they're like balanced. Where like both weeks you can get both of them you can start both of them literally. Whereas
not only that, as we were just looking at, Jalen Hurts only threw 22 touchdowns. He threw 22-6.
Yeah.
His ratio. He ran a lot of that stuff in. So like the fact that they're both in the top 10, like, only means upside to me. Like, I'm saying from a fantasy perspective, I'd take the Eagles because I know Jalen Hurts is going to be there. I don't know we're speculating just now who Miami's quarterback's going to be. I mean, it seems like anybody can throw to Tyreek Hill, but not Skylar. Skylar can't throw to him, apparently. So, yeah, I go with that. But there's some people here that even I wouldn't even expect it. Like, the Jaguars are going to be a thing because we saw Trevor Lawrence was in the top 10 quarterbacks.
I'm surprised Christian Kirk had himself a good season.
Exactly what I was pointing out right here. Christian Kirk, he's hitting in what right
he's up there with Jamar Chase. Yeah, no, that's like number 12.
Yeah, he's right outside, right below. Jamar Chase missed a few games, but it's above Lockett, Terry McLaurin. Let's see here. Ayuk Metcalf, and then the 2 Tampa Bay guys. But Kirk, surprisingly decent season. They paid him good money. And, next year, I mean, I don't know if somebody's going to keep him. I doubt it, but, like, I
have him. I'm not keeping him, but.
Who?
Christian Kirk.
Oh, what's my man? I'm gonna draft Trevor Lawrence first.
Oh.
I'm taking him first.
He's really going to be
was Zay Jones
top 5 next year.
Yeah, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram, and then he's gonna have Calvin Ridley. And it's not like Calvin Ridley, I hope you're studying the playbook all this year. All right. I hope Doug Peters, somebody's giving you the playbook. Like, I hope you're figuring out how the offense works. You have nothing else to do in your life. So as you're waiting until next season, Calvin Ridley is a really he's like a Josh Gordon type of athletic, whatever. If he doesn't keep getting kicked out of the NFL, he's going to be good. So, Trevor Lawrence, if he's in the top 10, I think he's going to be a top 3, 4, easy top 5, but probably top 3. Trevor Lawrence. I can't see anybody outside of.
I don't know about top 3 because that means you have to beat Mahomes and Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts.
No, this isn't even Jalen Hurts. Okay, that's where we're finally at. I'm glad we're finally here. This is in Tom Brady's out of the equation. We're finally at the new Mount Rushmore. It is Patrick Mahomes,
Josh Allen,
Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow. That is
the top 4.
That is the top 4. That is Mount Rushmore. And then Geno Smith is 5. So, and right outside of that is Geno Smith. So I assume Trevor Lawrence will probably be there. If not Trevor Lawrence, probably like a Justin Herbert. But Trevor Lawrence is going to be there. I don't know. You don't know. Maybe people miss games. You don't know what happens. But I believe Trevor Lawrence will probably be top 5. And it's kind of lost its luster now that Geno's saying I think there'll be a top 5 quarterback. I will be able to use Geno Smith as a counter argument. As a counter argument to every person, I'll be able to use Geno Smith for existence. It's I hope he becomes a top 5, quarterback. Top 5 quarterback. Well, Geno Smith was a top 5 quarterback. It's like you gotta have a quarterback that knows how to win when it's time, and a good defense and a coach and all the other stuff. So I'm gonna use Geno Smith as an argument for the rest of my life. And Jared Goff. Jared Goff has now been a top 10 quarterback multiple times. So Who knows where the Detroit Lions will go next year. And speaking of that, Detroit Lions, Amon St. Brown.
7th on the list.
It's Amon-Ra St. Brown.
He needs more touchdowns, but
he does. He definitely needs more touchdowns, but I think he had a shit ton of targets. Let's see. Yeah.
146 targets.
That's a lot of targets.
And he was hurt for 3 games too. So
I know, that's what I'm saying. In 3 games, if he played those other games, he'd be, top 3 in targets for sure. And still 1,161 yards, 6 touchdowns, 100. Like you said, off of missing 3 games, 100 receptions. You know how easy it's become for people to get 100 receptions. 100 receptions used to be a hard thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Looking at this list, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys who did it.
Yeah, and he missed 3 games. He missed 3 games and had 106. Detroit Lions offense is so prolific. I think he would have been in the top 5. He would have been. I don't know. Yeah, he might have beaten out. He would have beat out CeeDee Lamb for sure. And maybe even Stephon Diggs. If he had 3 extra games. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think he's a definite keeper. You might hear more about him later in the episode for somebody about something.
Hint.
It's foreshadow. All right. Let's go to the running backs. And this is the most surprising one right there. Austin Eckler.
I knew we had it in him. He's a good player. He's in the same mode as Christian McCaffrey and Saquon Barkley, the guy who can do everything.
Yeah, I give you that. The other big outlier is coming at number 7, Ramondre Stevenson. Ramondre Stevenson, a guy who I believe picked up off waivers.
Yes.
And ended up being It was like foreshadow. I was like, and ended up me in top 7. The first 4 games of the year, he was behind Damian Harris. Like, he's so nerfed. There's probably like 7 games of him not getting full RB1 like play. And he ended up very high, like above really good. Joe Mixon, Aaron Jones, Dalvin Cook. I had Dalvin Cook on my team, and I kept him. And Ramondre Stevenson, he was a far more valuable addition to the team. Like, it's crazy. And honestly, it looks weird that this seems to be a really down year for running backs. You look down, all the way down, right outside the top 10, below Dalvin Cook, Leonard Fournette. He missed
668 yards.
Yeah. He had 3 touchdowns. He had 500 yards receiving, which is actually pretty great.
Yeah. And we're in a PPR league, and he had 73 receptions too. So that's a good 36 points. So
it's crazy. So he had 6 touchdowns and over 1,200 yards total offense, almost like St. Brown. We were looking at, like, as far as total offense. And he missed a bunch of games. He missed a bunch of games as well. Jamal Williams. I feel like Jamal Williams is somebody you can't really trust so much going forward because Swift is injured, and when they're both playing, like, it's too many mouths to feed in Detroit.
In Detroit, yeah.
Too many mouths to feed. So he got a lot of touchdowns early. Like, look at this touchdown fucking total for the
17. Led the league.
1,066
yards. He beat Barry Sanders' single season record.
It's fucking crazy. He'll never does. Yeah, I mean, he'll have that for the rest of his life, but he'll never be anywhere near as good as Barry Sanders. But good for them, good for him. And he missed multiple games. He could have had like the single season record. Like, did he miss like 4 games too? And
Jamal Williams, I think he missed like 1 or 2.
Okay, maybe. All right, just a few games.
I feel like DeAndre Smith missed more.
Yeah, Swift missed more. That's why he got in there. I think you're going to see an uptick from people like Najee Harris and other stuff next year. Pollard next year. I think next year fully. This is Pollard's first 1,000-yard season, I guess. I think fully they'll be done with Ezekiel Elliott next year, and it'll be Pollard. So he's definitely a key. Saquon Barkley's his best year he's had in a while. And he still missed a few games. He still missed, I think, like 2 or 3 games.
Did he?
I know he didn't play last week, and I know he missed at least one other game early in the season, like the game before the Washington game, because he was supposed to be questionable coming into that game, and he played. So I know he missed like 2 games, at least 2 games. And
no, he didn't.
He didn't miss any
games?
All
the games. You know, he played every game except for the last one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Damn. Okay. All right. I was wrong. I thought he got hurt.
You know, the 2 injury-prone guys, Christian McCaffrey and Saquon Barkley, they played full seasons.
I know, man. So
good for them.
Good for them. I hope that continues for the NFL, and for them. I hope they don't get it injured. Derrick Henry, no surprise, ended up in the top 5. Same thing with McCaffrey. That's obvious, and that is, I think, one of the biggest stories of the year, that in the middle of the year you can get traded in literally, I don't know,
doesn't lose a heart, doesn't lose a step, does not miss a step.
He didn't miss a step. He took an extra step.
Yeah,
he's like, you know what? Let's go faster. like Kyle Shanahan has been like crafting an offense for him since he was like 7, and probably dusted that book off as soon as the trade was coming. It was like, all right, it's time for our old super bad playbook. And man, Christian McCaffrey coming in at number 2 for the running backs. It's crazy. Now, Josh Jacobs is another thing. Like, dude,
we don't know where he's going to be next year.
No, that's what I'm saying. Here's the question, and this comes mainly from Vegas. You saying that Tom Brady might go there, goes where they have, like, he's not going to go there if Josh Jacobs not there, right? I would think it's big to go.
He might. I mean, in New England, who did he have to run the ball?
I guess.
I mean, his best running back in New England was Corey Dillon.
No, he didn't really have any. Yeah, you're right. He didn't have any running backs, but he also had a good defense and a much better and a better coach. Look, Josh McDaniels hasn't proven to me that he's a better coach than Bill Belichick yet. Sorry.
He'll never be.
He'll never do that. So, like, why does Tom Brady think? Why would he think?
He's a better smirk.
Yeah, a better smirk. But he also believes Tim Tebow should have been a starting quarterback. Hey. So, Josh McDaniels has been terrible by his, on his own year after year. So, for his sake, I'm sure he probably, will fly out of Tampa and blow Tom to get into to Vegas. But I mean, Josh Jacobs, where will he be? And he'll have I think a good amount of options, like people that are trying to take that last lead. Like let's say they don't win this year and the Bills are like, let's get Josh Jacobs. Like, I mean, he has the ability to go to a team and basically turn them into a Super Bowl contender. And we don't know. It's hard to know if people are going to be just as good. Not everybody's Christian McCaffrey. So do you think Josh Jacobs would be just as effective if he goes to say who needs a
running back? I don't know.
I mean, the first thing that came to my mind, the first thing that came to my mind was the Bills. But other than the Bills,
they definitely wouldn't run it as much with him because they have Josh Allen.
Yeah. Well, true. So like his numbers would be nerfed for sure. Let's see here.
Imagine if he went to Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean, they just need fucking Edwards-Helaire to not be injured anymore. But yeah, it would be ridiculous. They would never. I don't know. Like, I feel like the Raiders would pay him triple to make sure he didn't go to the fucking Chiefs. Like, they'd be like super, super sad. I feel like it. I don't know. Maybe he'll go to the Rams if they don't believe in. Like, it seems a lot of people have things set up. Maybe the Jets.
Yeah, a lot of teams are good at running back right now.
At running back, yeah.
I don't know, maybe the Cardinals.
James Conner. I mean, like, but let's just look at this list, man. Like, outside, so look at the list. 3 of the top 6 are in the playoffs. Okay, so obviously running backs are nerfed. I'm noticing that by this list completely. That running backs
don't win you championships.
Not anymore. I feel like my first pick should have been wide receivers. So
my first pick should have been Patrick Mahomes.
Well, that too, but yeah. The quarterback, obviously, but you have 2 wide receivers. Yeah, wide receivers are making more points other than the running backs, man. So yeah, at this point, wide receivers, if you're in a PPR league or half PPR league, like, I don't know why you're wasting your time.
Austin Eckler, look at that though. Like his numbers. I mean, I can see why he was the 4th highest fantasy score this year.
Yeah, because he had receptions.
The receptions.
He's a running back. A running back with 107 receptions. Now, he did obviously,
because a lot of his team was hurt.
Yes, he got a
didn't have
boost
Mike
because,
Williams or Keenan Allen most of the year.
and so they had to throw it to him. Like, I get it. That's why he won. That's why I'm saying it's surprised that he made it there, because usually he's not used as much as, like, say, Saquon Barkley's. We know Saquon Barkley is the Giants' whole offense. We know Derrick Henry is Tennessee's
Titans, yeah,
entire offense. Like, Josh Jacobs was the Raiders' whole offense until Devontae, until Adams got there.
Yep.
But the one outlier is Christian McCaffrey, because he still isn't your best offensive player, in my opinion. I like Christian McCaffrey, but I still think Debo's better. So, slightly. I don't want to. They're so both versatile. It's hard to even say. They're like 1A.
They're literally clones of each other.
They're like 1A, 1B. Like, it's kind of hard to say. Like, neither one of them are a wide receiver. Neither one of them are running back. It's so weird.
But both of them do it pretty well.
Both of them do it, like, perfectly. Both of them could have done either one. If Christian McCaffrey was like, well, I don't want to be like my dad, or like the new Wes Welker slot receiver, he would be a fucking Hall of Famer as well. Like, I guarantee you Christian McCaffrey could route linebackers and slot quarterbacks. I'm sure he would route the shit out of them. He does it all the time anyway.
Yeah, he does.
So, yeah, I mean, and then Debo, he runs over everybody. Like, he's a wide receiver, but he shouldn't run over people all the time. He should just, like, yeah. So it's a crazy thing. I would ask, what would be your projections for the running back list or the wide receiver list? Who do you think had a good year this year that isn't prone to have it again next year? Like, if I were to say Geno Smith probably won't have 30 touchdowns and 11 interceptions next year. I don't believe he will. Maybe he will.
I think off of this list, I think it really was a weird year for running backs. Josh Jacobs was a big surprise, obviously. I don't think he's going to have the type of year that he had this year, next year, regardless of where he is. Even if he returns to Vegas.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't depend on him getting 1,600 yards and 12 touchdowns. He might get like 1,200, 1,300. But I think this looks kind of normal to me. As far as the wide receiver list, though, I don't know. Out of the top 10, I think all of them are good. I think the number, if anybody goes down on the list, it'll probably be CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, and that's what's funny. CeeDee, like, he seems like he would be the one to go down.
But then also depending on the Miami's quarterback for next year, if Tua is back and healthy and he doesn't get any more concussions.
That's true. Lots of ifs. If he plays. And if he plays all year without getting another one. Now, here's what I say that is more likely than if, as a person who ended up having a decent season, Amari Cooper. We probably didn't draft him so high. But Amari Cooper, with Deshaun Watson, you have to assume will be better next year.
Yeah, I assume he'll be better next year.
Now, the two people that are on this list that I see, like, I don't know what's going to happen with. It's funny that Tyler Lockett essentially had a better year. I mean, we had more points, but he had 3 more touchdowns. He had a better year than DK Metcalf. And we don't know who the new quarterback's going to be. So I say you tip your expectations for both of those players.
It's going to be top 5 quarterback Geno Smith.
I know, man. How early do you draft him next year? Like, do they? That's the thing we have to come back and check on. It's like, is Daniel Jones going to be re-signed? Well, where's Derek Carr going to be? Where is Geno Smith going to be? Where will Tom Brady be? It's
hopefully retired.
Lamar Jackson. Where, like, it's going to be crazy. It is crazy that the movement changes like that. It seems like it reflects society. Everybody's like ADHD. Like things did not move like this back in the late 90s, early 2000s, as far as the NFL. Like a generational quarterback moving on, or a quarterback that you spent time on moving to another team was just like unheard of. And I think it was around the time, like after the Jay Cutler quarterback, like after his trading, the NFL kind of just opened up. I think the same thing happened in the NBA. I think it's just like worldwide. It's just like, let's trade stuff. Let's figure shit out other than holding on and whatever. And I kind of admire it. People are going for it other than, staying the slow course of being mediocre or terrible or whatever. Like, we'll just not trade for anybody and take any chances. But, I mean, it's detrimental to the rest of the league, to me, because it just doesn't get stability. Like the fact that we have to think about whether Geno Smith or Daniel Jones or whatever might actually have to stay there when they seemingly play themselves into playoffs and into money and into whatever. It's crazy how people are willing to gamble a successful future. Be like, I gotta get this fucking Super Bowl. But yeah, it is entertaining to see that's what you go all in for, man. And the crazier thing about this also is that, due to injury, we go down. I don't see
Cooper Kupp.
I don't see, where is Debo?
Debo's all the way down there somewhere.
And I feel like he didn't miss enough games. There he is. To be all the way down here. Did he really miss that many games? That whatever, were they so prolific? Like shit, he had a worse year than Juju Smith.
He really didn't miss that many games. He missed 1, 2, 3, 4 games.
4 games, right? That's a little. To have 5 touchdowns and still less than 900. It's only missed 4 games. It's kind of a nerf season. So I kind of need to retract my statement, I guess, of saying Christian McCaffrey is worse. Like, he obviously produced way more. I just like Debo.
And I love me some C-Mac. So
yeah, indeed. And to the least relevant part of all of this, the tight ends. There's only one person that even matters.
Really, it does.
It's so crazy. It's like you keep Kelsey. You just keep him. And then
obviously.
Who cares about everybody else?
He's like 100 points ahead of the next guy.
It's retarded. I don't want to be demonetized for saying that.
You know what is the surprise on this list, though? Number 5, Evan Ingram.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Not drafted on waiver wire for majority of the season. Ends up being top 5.
I was going to say Tyler Higbee, because at least Evan Ingram has stability at quarterback. Tyler Higbee.
That's true, too.
Like, still ended up in the top 6. Like, it's not that hard. 600 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Taysom Hill is the 8th tight end on this list.
Come on. Come on.
Ninth. Sorry, I can't count. Ninth.
Oh. He's top 10 Taysom Hill. That shows how
so funny.
Pointless. This is how pointless tight end was. And like my team got riddled with injuries this year. Like I go down, I see Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert is like, he's 12th, and he missed like 9 games. He missed so many games. Dallas Goedert. Like he was my starting tight end, and then of course Cooper Kupp went down.
So I just thought about something. You know how in our league the league winner gets to make a rule change every year?
Yeah.
I think I figured out what I'm going to do if I ever win my league again.
Oh, shut it down. Good.
Eliminate the tight end position and turn it to a wide receiver / tight end position.
Flex. Basically a flex, no more tight end.
No more tight end. No, you have to start a wide receiver or tight end in that slot.
So yeah, no more tight end. Besides Travis Kelce.
But Mark Andrews was definitely nerfed because Lamar has been gone.
That's true. I mean, but he would maybe be within like 80 points of Kelsey.
Maybe.
Like when I looked at our fantasy thing, like it was saying that the most valuable player in the entire league is Travis Kelsey by a long spot because he's giving you top 10 like points per week from the tight end position. So like basically if you have like Mahomes and Travis Kelsey, you just like run your balls over your entire fantasy league. Like we win.
So looking at Travis Kelsey's fantasy points at 316.3, if he was on the wide receiver list, he would be number 5. He'd be a top 5 wide receiver. He's behind Stephon Diggs. He would be ahead of CeeDee Lamb. That is
crazy. At tight end, like, so having him is a tremendous boost. Other than that, it doesn't even fucking matter. Like, what does it matter week to week? Like, having a tight end is like a kicker.
Like, my idiot self ended up drafting Kyle Pitts when Travis Kelsey was on the board.
What?
I was the one who took the first tight end off the board, and I took Kyle Pitts.
Wow, man. I think we have to
dumbass right here.
I think we have to stop this podcast.
I have regrets.
I don't know what really to say. All right, so let's see this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so the seventh ranked tight end. Yep, and he has less points than the top rated kicker. So like tight ends are literally pointless. Like having a tight end 1 is basically like, okay, like all right, I just put him. Yeah, he'll give me 3 points, hopefully. Like you just don't lose points with a tight end. Like a kicker, you could possibly lose points. You could have like a horrible day. But as you see here, they're pretty consistent.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Right? You look at the tight ends, like all of these kickers at 140, whatever, are
the Patriots defense scored more points.
Yeah.
173.
173. They scored.
They were the top ranked defense.
They were above Tyler Higbee. They were right below Evan Ingram in fantasy points.
Yeah. I didn't think tight ends were this useless until you pointed this out.
Yeah, very useless, dude. That's why I definitely streamed them, but I was stream quarterbacks because it's rare that like other than I guess Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow. Like, if you don't have one of the top 4, like it's always been when it used to be Peyton, Brady, and Breeze and Ben, I guess. Like when you didn't have one of those top 4, like you could just stream quarterbacks. And but yeah, tight ends have become kind of pointless recently. And then it's not so much like it's not them being less athletic or good or whatever. It's just the way NFL is, man. Like you remember like tight end used to be the quarterback's crush. The only person that the tight end is a crutch for is Lamar Jackson. Like Patrick Mahomes can throw to anybody. Travis Kelsey's just his best receiver, and everybody else will get the fuck open. But like Mark Andrews would have been easily number 2 of Lamar Jackson.
Remember the days where I used to start 3 tight ends?
Yeah, those days are hopefully over.
They're long gone.
If you want to win, like
long gone.
Get rid of it. Yeah, like it's so pointless having a tight end. Like unless you have Kelsey, it's been like that for years. I thought it was only 3 before. It was Kelsey, Kittle, and Andrews. Andrews kind of came in recently, but it was for years. It was just Kelsey and Kittles. So I don't know why I always had S to his name. It's Kittles, but yeah.
I can't believe the Patriots are the top defense. Cannot believe it.
Yeah, I believe it. I had
I mean,
them
I knew
all
they were
year.
like top five, but I didn't know they
I
were
had them all
top.
year. I had them all year, and they did well. They never scored less than like double digits. And sometimes they scored like 30 points. Like the Patriots defense did well, and they almost got shit done with fucking Bailey Zappi. And I think somebody was talking about that. They're like, Mac Jones sucks. Mac
He
Jones
does
sucks
suck.
just like Zach Wilson. So if you kept Zappy Bailey, whatever, I think it's Bailey Zappi.
Bailey Zappi is basically Taylor Heineke. That's all he is.
Yeah. Well, they said if you started him, they probably would have made the playoffs instead of going back to Mac Jones. All right. Okay, let's get to the end of this thing here, man. Let's get to our top 2 fantasy performers of the year. In post, I hope that I spent enough time to put triumphant music in the background. but right now, we're gonna start with my boy, Drunken Box Master. Drunken Master Boxhead. Drunken Master.
Hypnotic is hitting, huh?
Oh, it's very hitting. Oh, it's definitely not juice.
That cup was full, guys. That thing was full.
That thing was full. It's not.
Where's your Pyrex cup?
It's not hypnotic. It is just vodka and blue raspberry Minute Maid. But
could have fooled me.
But much more of the former. But right here. Oh. Can you hear anything at all? I mean,
I don't see anything yet.
Good. I wasn't
trying to hear anything yet either.
Good. Only I can hear, making sure. So explain to me first, who is the man that you picked to be I guess your fantasy performer of the year?
My fantasy performer of the year is Christian McCaffrey. He was my keeper. I've kept him literally like since we've had the keeper, literally like the last 5 years. And finally, and each year I've regretted it. This year, initially when we started, I was thinking about not keeping anybody and just letting him go and just redrafting my whole team. But I'm so happy I kept him. He has been a stud. 244 carries, 1,139 yards, 8 touchdowns, along with 85 receptions, 741 yards, and 5 touchdowns. The dude is prolific. He was worth the 8th overall pick. All right. You guys say that running backs should not be drafted in the top 10. This guy absolutely was until his body broke down because Ron Rivera doesn't know how to use his running backs or his team and just likes to run everybody to the ground. All right. You know that.
Well, there he is as a quarterback. But now let's say this. I don't believe. I'm gonna turn this off so I don't hear it as well. Yeah, I agree with it. You don't take running backs first. He's not a running back.
No, he's a lot of people say, running back. Like a lot of people said that when Carolina drafted him, it was a waste of a pick because he's too small. And he's a running back.
Oh, I remember.
But he's not just a running back. He's a chess piece that he can put anywhere on the field if used correctly. And just the way San Francisco is using him is the way that he should be used.
Yeah, it seems like he was built for this Shanahan offense. Like they genetically engineered a running back to work well with his.
Look at that! Like just like the quick movement of his legs, his change of direction is just insane. They've won 10 in a row to end the NFL season.
I mean, look.
Jimmy Garoppolo went out and hurt him, and broke his foot or his ankle or something like that. And Brock Purdy comes in, rookie, Mr. Irrelevant, and just continues to get dubs.
Yeah, man.
So the only thing I feel like the only thing that's holding this team back from Super Bowl this year is Brock Purdy.
And I think that will be the unfortunate ending for them. Like Brock Purdy's playing too good. It's like almost too storybook. Like he can't. This is like the story for any given Sunday. Like if he fucking if he wins the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. But the good thing about Brock Purdy, his situation is he has the top ranked, or one of the top ranked defenses in the league on the other side. So if he makes a mistake, they'll pick him up. But he has, his offense is also pretty good with Debo returning, C-Mac, and Kittle definitely picking it up. Kittle seems to have a great rapport with Purdy. It's like his numbers picked up so much after Purdy took the helm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did. Everybody seemed to have taken an upswing, but it's just I can't go against full history, man. Like he's still a rookie, bro. Like he's still a rookie.
And I don't think any rookies ever won the Super Bowl. So
no, it's never happened. It's never happened. And if he has a bad game, it's not gonna be next year. Like he's gonna have a bad game. I'd assume during this playoff, like somebody's gonna figure out something that's like if he has a bad game, just a couple turnovers. Like the 49ers are really good defense, whatever, but like if he has multiple turnovers in a game, like it's
hard to come back.
They'll probably lose. It's hard to come back for sure. Absolutely, man. So let me go over to mine. We're just picking two. So Christian McCaffrey, my guy, that I'm picking is he's not as I don't want to say as talented. He's not as vaunted. He's not as famous or not touted as one of the best players yet. But as we saw on this list a little bit earlier, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I said it very slowly.
Keep stumbling over that name.
No, I said it slowly, so I will say every part of it. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a keeper. He is definitely a keeper.
Most definitely. Agreed.
That Detroit Lions offense, I believe in it. I like the moxie of the Lions, even though they didn't make it in. I think they deserve to make it in. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'm just gonna call him St. Brown. He's a scrappy man. He reminds me a lot of he's Stephon Diggs, and it's kind of crazy that they wear the same number. Yeah. Like he's Stephon, like he's quick, he's a great route runner, but it's like his littleness, but the physicality makes him who he is. Like he is
also another chess piece.
He is a chess piece. He is more versatile than Stephon Diggs. But I'd like to say that as far as being a smaller wide receiver, the type of physicality he has, I absolutely love, man. I absolutely love this dude. And if for some reason some idiot doesn't keep him in our league, if I have a chance to get him, he will never leave my roster. I'm actually planning to probably give up on Dalvin Cook, who's one of the people I meant to mention earlier, as I think is probably Dunzo for him. Like I think like he's kind of young, but he's coming to like 6 years, something like that. And I don't know. Like I'm worried about Dalvin Cook and Derrick Henry going forward. But Amon-Ra St. Brown. God damn it, I said I wasn't gonna say the whole name. But it's hard for me to not do that. It's hard to not do that. But he has a bright future. He has a bright future. Yeah, I think he's going to be a top 5, easily top 10, but he's probably going to be a top 5.
They fooled the
receiver.
cameraman there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but that's a good thing. He has a good head coach. He has a good quarterback who's shown that he's good,
And a
and
very good offense coordinator, man. He schemes everything so well.
I would
Ben
love for him to.
Johnson, I want
Hey,
him to become my head coach. He's in
yeah,
top. He's one of the top 3 guys I want for head coach.
oh yeah,
So
I've been hearing good stuff about him, for sure. But yeah, that's enough for St. Brown now. But I think going forward, he's going to be a name that people have to figure out how to say, like Giannis Antetokounmpo. At some point, you could have put a gun to my head and had me say that name correctly. But if you get good enough, people will remember your name.
that is true.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. So I definitely like what the Detroit Lions are doing. And I look forward to next year, and I hope St. Brown stays healthy. And yeah, he continues to shred up the numbers. I don't know what it is, man. Like, why are you like moving over to Catholicism or something? Or
No.
what made you decide, like, let's just pick everybody? That's why I'm
I knew you would say something like
putting
that,
the
by the
horse
way.
before the
So
carriage.
yeah, my second
Well, your second.
performer of the year was a guy I picked up off of waivers. All right, and I beat this guy to it. When we were
You
struggling
did it
on
to
and
throw it in my face. That's what
struggling
you did. You
getting
did it to
those
throw it
dubs
in
in
my
fantasy
face.
season, and I'm debating right now on whether or not I want to keep him. I'm thinking I might because he's an up and comer, and he's definitely. It all really depends on what happens in the offseason for Green Bay as well. But Christian Watson is my one of my top performers, maybe most likely a second half top performer for fantasy. Scouring the waiver wire as we all should be doing. But there was at
Yes.
some point during the season where he was doing 30 points, 28 points, 30 points. He was, unstoppable. You had to start him regardless. But in the short time that he played and stepped up for Green Bay to make that playoff push, he had 41 receptions, 611 yards, 7 touchdowns. And the dude has a bright future. And if Aaron Rodgers returns, Christian Watson is going to be a force to reckon with next year.
That's crazy. That is another thing. Be like, yeah, if Aaron Rodgers decides to play, I guess. Like, I mean, it's so funny. Since the first drop touchdown pass that Christian Watson had, like the beginning of the season, like it was like a 6-7 week drought. He was injured, I believe.
At some point, he was, yes.
He was injured for a good amount of it, but it was a long drought. And then finally, it took a long time. I feel like I need to.
It wasn't until week 10 where he had his output.
Yeah, it wasn't until week 10. Oh, damn it. I got to sit here and look at Keenan Thompson. Oh, Jesus Christ. No, but it wasn't, until week 10. So 8 weeks, maybe 5 weeks, he played well, and then, yeah. It was around this time, but finally he figured out how to catch the ball. And once he has the ball in his hand, man, he's special. Like he's fast. You can
He's
see why
big too.
Yeah, you can see why they drafted him. And the Packers figure out a way to do that. I don't know. As a person, like you say, you kept Christian McCaffrey for a long time. I kept Devontae Adams for a minute. I'm trying to figure out what made me. I think I definitely regret it now. I believe I picked Dalvin Cook over Devontae Adams back when we were only 2. And No, I regret that now. I should have just kept Devontae. But like I kept him since a rookie. Like I took Devontae out, and you just see him develop. And I wouldn't, it's only because Aaron Rodgers, his career can't last. I don't think another 5 years. That I don't see him, Watson maybe becoming the new Devontae Adams. But yeah, you have to look this whole offseason to see if Jordan Love plays. But he's definitely somebody that's worth looking at because he might be on that trajectory to be at least a top 5, maybe a top 10, wide receiver. He might be top 10 next year, and that's it.
I have high hopes for him.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely did. Definitely good. Oh shit! I got copyright notice from our live stream. Nice.
Probably because you're using NFL YouTube.
I don't know. So who on YouTube use this? Did they get flagged too?
They probably get flagged too.
Yeah, they got flagged too. Like the people, this isn't the NFL Network YouTube page. It's like somebody used the NFL Network.
Or maybe I don't know, maybe this person that you're using got the copyright, got the rights to use it, and you're using from them without asking. I don't know. Copyright shit is weird, man. I don't understand half the time.
It is. I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess you got to stop it all at the source. Who knows when we'll become millionaires off of playing their content. Who knows? Yeah. So, I have one more. I was gonna try to wrap this thing on up in a second. We have an honorable mention. Oh shoot, we got to do the disappointments. I didn't even do the disappointments.
No, we're fine. We're fine.
Yeah, we'll get out of here soon. Now, my biggest pickup, actually, as I was going through it, I thought that I picked him up during the season, but I actually did draft him. Now, I will say this. I didn't actually draft any of my players this year, which I would like to blame on me not winning. Because had I been there, I would have surely won. Now, Ramondre Stevenson was picked up for me, but I believe he was like my 12th pick or some crazy shit from the
auto draft.
Yeah, from the auto drafts, and I had no clue.
That's a solid 12th pick.
It is. My 11th pick was Trey Lance. I don't know, like so. I had a lot of literally 5 of my 6 players. I decided had to cut in the first 2 weeks of the season, but it's a keeper league, so I mean, it's not so much of a crutch. Things fucking happen, but Ramondre Stevenson ended up a top 10 running back, and I don't think anybody would have assumed that before the season
started. Not at all.
So I think looking forward, the only reason he was not was because injury towards the end of the season. Damian Harris came in, but I think he's fully solidified. He's fully solidified his position as the number 1 running back for the Patriots, which I don't think has happened since you said earlier, since Corey Dillon. I don't think it's happened since then. And he actually had they made him do both roles. Like he was the power back and the back coming out of the in the flat catching out. That's a nice run up the middle there. Yeah, and he had a lot of receptions this year. Let me check that out. How many receptions?
Yeah, he was a good PPR guy.
Yeah, man, and with the Patriots not figuring out who they're supposed to be starting at quarterback and just uncertainty, It's good to see them have some stability. Look, in this game we're watching, Damian Harris had 2 touchdowns, and then Ramondre Stevenson finally got one. Like they were just showing that they said Damian Harris had 20 carries for 89 yards and 2 touchdowns, and that just won the game. Oh yeah, let's watch this. Oh, that looked bad. Who's number 34? Oh, Chandler. Oh, Chandler, you're supposed to be. Oh no, you got run over. You got run over so bad. Yeah, show that back again, just so I can see Twan's face when he runs over him right here. Oh, that is bad. Man. That's a poster. No, it seems like he's doing more of it. Is he going to run over another person? I was going to run past them. Oh.
Yeah, they can't tackle. They can't tackle. This was last season, by the way, not this past season. But
really?
Yeah, this was from 2021.
Are you absolutely okay?
Yeah, because Cam was this was Mac Jones's rookie year. Cam was still there, and I wanted to go to this game because I thought Cam would still be starting. But
oh shit, I did. Oh god damn it.
Are you good?
Oh well, it's whatever. Things happen. It's not like we're actually being produced here. I
can't believe they hit you with a copyright that quick.
I know. I just seen another thing. I'm like, oh shit. So you got an honorable mention. So I have Ramondre Stevenson, Ramondre Stevenson, and damn, who did I pick first again? Yeah, I wrote it down. Holy shit! I can't believe I can't remember the first person I picked. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey. And Christian Watson.
Well, my honorable mention was not someone I drafted. It was someone I picked up to further solidify me not making the playoffs, but making it closer. It was Evan Ingram, who became a top 5 tight end because I had no tight end after Kyle Pitts, got shelved and was a bum for most of the year. Like I said, I drafted him over Travis Kelce, and that's the biggest regret I have. But my honorable mention for surprise performer, Evan Ingram.
Yeah, I had St. Brown, right.
Amon St. Brown.
Indeed. My honorable mention.
My honorable mention
is Jamar Chase. You say, why would I say that? Because when he did play, even though he missed a few games, he had some monster games. Mm-hmm. Now he's definitely if he plays his full schedule, he's probably right there, right next to Tyreek Hill, right next to Justin Jefferson. The fact that he's so low on this list only shows that he missed a few games through injury, but I'm mentioning him because I feel like if he played the whole season,
5 games.
Okay. 5 games. Okay, if he made the whole season, I just believe that he might have been a top 3 wide receiver, and I don't like to miss out on him. I think he's one of those.
No, he's definitely.
I think he's like a new DeAndre Hopkins. Like he's not going to be like that because he has Joe Burrow. He has his best buddy from fucking college throwing him the ball. Like I would, if you were asking me still, like next year, like do you pick Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase first? I'd have to pause. I have to really think about it. Like they're both really good. Like I think maybe Justin Jefferson might be slightly better, but Joe Burrow is also much better than Kirk Cousins. So I like to say, Mr. Jamar Chase, do not forget about you. You will be top. You will be on top once again. And I would say that will take us to the end because I forgot. Oh, no. I do have a disappointment. My bad. And we have the most disappointing pick and player of the entire year. I think a lot of people agree with me on this. I'm gonna go first. A lot of people agree with me on this. They drafted this person hoping there'd be at least a flex wide receiver 2. I don't think he's an overly picked player, but Brandon Cooks was the biggest dud. Like preseason, they're like, well, he's their only wide receiver. He's got to catch passes. Like it was a toss up to me between him and Deontay Johnson. We're like, we're number 1 wide receivers, but why do we don't ever catch the ball? Like, quarterback's not. You can't say quarterback specifically. Like, there are other players that are on the top 10, top 15 wide receiver lists that have had quarterbacks issues all fucking year long. So Brandon Cooks is basically he's the new T.Y. Hilton. He's played himself out of the NFL for now. And then like a hungry like team will pick him up later, I guess. I don't know. So I mean, Brandon Cooks, it was horrible. He was a bad pickup this year, and I guarantee he's on everybody's. He's not. I don't think he's owned. I want to like check that out. What is his percentage of ownership? Like, he's not even worth rostering.
He's definitely not.
Yeah. Another player on this team was for a few weeks would have been nominated for one of the Fantasy Players of the Year award, Damian Pierce, but he also fell off of a cliff.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he did, and that's why I didn't mention him. But my disappointment from my team this year was Justin
Deontay Foreman. I'll say no. That was just towards the end of the season. Sorry, continue.
Justin Herbert. He was one of my 2 keepers, so I kept him and I kept Christian McCaffrey. I shouldn't have kept Justin Herbert. There were definitely better quarterbacks out there, but it can't be all blamed on him. He did miss Keenan Allen and Mike Williams for a good amount of the season. But fantasy-wise, he was the 11th ranked quarterback, and 11th ranked quarterbacks don't get kept.
I think you got to keep him this offseason, man, because he still made it to the playoffs without those 2 dudes. Like, yes. Are they going to always be injured?
But it depends. I'll make that decision, and it depends on, looking at the rest of our league's keepers. If I see somebody that entices me more that I can replace him with, then, But right now I'm leaning towards not, and just
because it won't be Patrick. Like, nobody's gonna. It's not gonna be.
Yeah, Mahomes.
It's gonna be Patrick Mahomes.
The top three would definitely not be there. The top 3 would definitely not be there. But if a Joe Burrow is around, if a Trevor Lawrence is around,
I don't think.
If a Justin Fields is around,
okay. All
right. So
those are possible. Those are plausible. That's where I'm hunting for the next year. So you are after me. And I almost thought about doing this. I just didn't change my roster, but I almost wanted to bitch everybody because it helps seeding, did it not?
Yeah.
So I should just bitch everybody so I can get a number, so I can get a higher seeding. I was like, I actually won the last game. I'm kind of annoyed. I didn't change anything. I just since the end of the season, I didn't change my roster. It was there. I think I played against you and half the people who were out or whatever. Whatever. I didn't change it. I'm mad I won 2 out of the 3 games. I figured by not switching my goddamn lineup it'll win, but Tom Brady decided to throw 4 touchdowns in the last game of the season.
Before we conclude,
I get to. I don't know. Can't remember.
Up. Shut up.
Oh, God.
Choke on whatever you're doing.
I don't know. Your
choke on that cough. Choke on that cough.
Look, I don't know why you have a background. Mike Evans catching another touchdown. That's what it looks like.
Anyway, before we wrap up the show, I wanted to get your predictions for the playoffs.
I'm going I'm going Bills, Eagles.
Okay. I am
I'm going.
going.
Yeah, you go.
I'm going Bills Niners.
I just can't see Purdy making it all the way to Super Bowl.
I have the Bills winning the Super Bowl, but I have Bills
Yeah.
Niners.
All right, so me and you are on the team of destiny train. Like, I felt like they were going to win, but when that shit happened to DeMar Hamlin, I'm like, oh, they're definitely going to win. they're gonna have DeMar Hamlin like raise the fucking trophy. I'm calling that right now. I'm calling that right now, months over a month in advance. That DeMar Hamlin will raise the Lombardi trophy, and everybody will salute him with threes, and, and we'll get that because it's all about people's lives and not about football. But yeah,
I am gonna predict that my the team that's gonna surprise a lot of people in this playoffs are the Giants. I think the Giants are going.
I think the Giants are going.
The Giants are going to beat the Vikings, and then the Giants. I think the Giants are going to beat the Eagles in the next round too.
Yeah, it's possible seeing how they struggled against their second, string team and almost lost the Eagles. So, yeah, that's a cool dark horse thing. I thought about that too. I was like, yeah, of all these teams, I'm like, yeah, the Giants, like the Vikings are so suspect. I'm like, I could easily see the Giants and the Bucks winning, and then I see like beat the Cowboys. And then it's just, the 49ers will definitely beat the Seahawks. Like that will be mind-boggling. Like
if the Seahawks beat the Niners.
Oh yeah, if Geno Smith beats the 49ers, like they gotta pay him.
Yeah.
Like it's somehow like you gotta extend Pete Carroll, like fucking give him a rim job, look everything you need to. And just like if they beat the 49ers, it's just monumental. That would be the biggest upset of the whole weekend. But I can definitely see the Vikings and the Cowboys, who are favored to lose for sure. I get a favorite to win losing. I can definitely see that. The most entertaining game to me. I wish Mike Williams was playing, but Jaguars Chargers game might be the most entertaining.
I think he is playing.
Okay, well, they'll still be the most entertaining game to me either way. Like it's like these.
No, he didn't practice today, so he might not play.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna play. They said he had to be helped to his car after the game. Yeah, they said he had to be like helped out of the stadium, like to walk. He had back problems.
No bueno.
I heard crazier things with Terrell Owens that he tried to play with. That was a Super Bowl, but yeah, those two are vying. Like it's the most entertaining for me because going forward, they're vying to be in the Mount Rushmore. Like it's Mahomes and Josh Allen. They're in there, right? But when we're thinking about like, is Jalen Hurts gonna stay in there? Maybe. I don't know. Like he's gotta. So there's like
he's got to prove some stuff in the playoffs,
Yeah. So because like a couple years ago, like Lamar is there or something. He was MVP. Like Jalen Hurts, like. So I think right behind them, it could easily be Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, and then who's the fourth? I think the fourth is being fought out by Hurts, Herbert, and Lawrence. So who's going to be the fourth on that? And we're going to see Herbert and Lawrence play this week, and that'll be a notch to either one.
That'll be a fun game.
It's going to be a notch to either one of their belts. Like if Lawrence beats, like it's going to be big because it's both of their first playoff games. So like Herbert's got an extra year. He should beat him, but I think if they lose, like shit, Brandon Staley's a weird coach. I don't think
he is a weird coach. He is a weird coach.
So
Doug Peterson though has done an amazing job with Jacksonville.
God, I would
Philly,
love for him.
Philly should have never.
He did an amazing thing with him.
I know he shouldn't have been let go by Philly.
God, it's so silly. And I mean, like, okay, yeah, they're doing all right with Sirianni or whatever, but fucking like I'm already done with Rivera. As a Commanders fan, I would
Oh, I
love
mean, I don't blame
Scott
you.
Turner. Scott Turner, I'm
Scott
glad
Turner got fired. He's gonna be the scapegoat. This is gonna get Ron Rivera one more year, and that's it. Because he did the same exact thing here, where he fired the offensive coordinator or defense coordinator, or one of them, someone, and then he earned an extra year and then got fired midway through the next year. So
why
it's
do you
the
think
same exact shit that's happening. Same exact shit.
I know, and it's silly. And I hope that we have a new owner and he sees through that shit and gets rid of all of them. I'm
He doesn't
thinking
game plan. He doesn't game plan. He doesn't.
Yeah.
What's it called? Change the game plan when things are going south. Things remain
No,
vanilla.
he comes in with a game plan and sticks to it.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't change it.
You're telling me he doesn't make adjustments, which I
Yeah,
agree
adjustments.
with.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yes. No
Yeah.
adjustments are made ever.
And on top of that is your offense. You never had an offense. Cam Newton was the offense.
And he ran him into the ground. And he ran Christian McCaffrey into the ground.
Yeah, it's similar to how Lamar Jackson was all. He has no real offense. He just he had a unique player that made his offense run, and he was decent at defense. So that's good. Ron Rivera needs to perpetually be a defensive coordinator. He's not a head coach. So he's a great defensive coordinator. Keep your guys on time, whatever, but offensively, he can't fucking get it done. Similar to me to Mike Vrabel. I would think the Tennessee Titans should start seeing that now. Vrabel's probably a really, really great defensive coordinator, but he shouldn't be your head coach. So I would love for us. I'm hoping, get rid of Scott Turner so maybe he can land and get a job earlier. To me, that's what
you know what makes me sad.
I think that's what he did. Look.
I know we're ranting right now, but I follow a lot of forums for the Panthers, and a lot of dumbasses out there want Scott Turner to come to be our OC. I would happily take McAdoo back if that was going to be the case.
Oh, wow.
Happily, because Scott Turner is trash. I could have told you guys that from the beginning too, but
yeah, I know that. Well, that's the thing about the Washington and Stan Snyder. He likes big names. He likes retread. He likes, we got Scott Turner because he's North Turner's, kid. We had Shanahan and his son in here, right? We brought in Jay Gruden because he came out of this. He grew up around his brother. We would just keep getting these people with quote unquote legacy names. I feel like I'm gonna hear about Marty Schottenheimer's kid becoming the new fucking coach or whatever. So I'm getting sick of getting these people that you think are some type of NFL legacy when we're letting people like Sean McVay and Matt LaFleur and
Mike McDaniel. The list just grows. It goes on.
I don't want to keep talking about the list of the people that come through that offensively minded, mind you, an offensive genius comes through those doors. You just let them go, and you keep getting a bunch of fucking defensive coaches. So, the defense should be top 5 if you have a defensive coach and another defensive head coach. Jack Del Rio
really should.
How are they not the most shut down defense ever? You have 2 legendary defensive coaches. I don't know why they still suck at that position. And so I think he's firing him early because he's a young buck and they're trying to, give him as much time. I think he's going to be fired too. I don't even know why he has the authority. You just said what he did, so this is a track record. We see what he did. Get rid of the offensive coordinator. Get one more year, suck that year, or whatever. So maybe I'll say this will be a full rebuild year. It'll suck. And we'll start Sam Howell, which I would be incredibly happy with. And
you should start Sam Howell.
Yeah, who I want, even if it's defense, I don't mind a defensive coach. I want Brian Flores. I liked him as a head coach for Miami. I think he got a raw deal. All up and down. Him being a black coach, him not wanting to lose on purpose. It was what got him fired from being, head coach. And then when he was gone, he thought he was going to get other jobs. And then, all the other coaches and owners, including they're some, secret boys club. They're like the Illuminati of the NFL, and they know shit that's going on before he does. So,
well, also the new owner is going to have to come in and make that decision too, right? Maybe that's why Schneider's not doing any moves like that.
absolutely. Absolutely. I would love for the new owner, Jeff Bezos and Jay-Z, which has been speculated. No bullshit. When they come in and they turn FedEx Field into Amazon Prime Field or whatever the fuck, Amazon Rock Nation Field. I don't care what they call it. If they call it the Rock, I'll be great. I'll come into the stadium with my diamonds up. I love you, Jay-Z. Let's do it.
The new victory song is "Diamonds Are Forever."
Diamonds are forever, dog. We turn ourselves to the Washington Diamonds. That'd be great too. This is better than Commanders. Yeah, so that's what I hope. This is a lot of crazy things that we'll get into as the season goes. I don't know who's going to be there. I know Carson Wentz will be gone. Taylor Heineke's not under contract anymore.
It's crazy. If you guys cut Carson Wentz, you guys save $26 million.
Yeah, so he's cut.
It's ridiculous. He should be cut. You guys should cut him.
Stabbed in the neck. Yes, get rid of him. Like, why would you ever think about keeping him?
Is Taylor under contract for next year or no?
No.
He's no. You guys should re-sign him for a 1 year deal.
We had him. We had him on a 2 year,
same thing. Yeah,
2 year, $10 million.
Do it.
And that's what we had him on. And then, yeah, that was for last year and then this year. And last year, that's what I'm saying. He's had to start. He's not supposed to start. I was so mad when Carson got injured and they were like, all right, let's put in Taylor. I'm like, put in Sam Howell, for the love of God. Why? We watched Taylor Heinicke. We gave him a good backup thing or whatever because we didn't have any other quarter. We didn't have a young quarterback to put in to see what.
That's also Ron's fault because
that's why I want him gone.
Loyal. He's loyal as fuck. Taylor Heinicke was with us in Carolina. If he
was fucking loyal, he would have goddamn started Carson Wentz against the Browns. I'm sorry, he would have started Taylor Heinicke against the Browns instead of Carson Wentz. If he was loyal, he's known Taylor Heinicke way longer than fucking Carson Wentz, who came in the offseason, which he tried to justify his horrible.
Well, you guys started last season with Kyle Allen and Taylor Heinicke, which were two guys that we had in our roster.
Started last year. Yeah, we started last year with Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh yeah, and Kyle Allen.
And Kyle Allen,
and Taylor Heinicke.
Yes. What I'm saying, that's what we started with last year, and we thought we were gonna fucking do some shit with fucking Ryan Fitzpatrick. That was our hope. And then this year, fucking Brian Carson Wentz. That's why I know next year, fucking dumbass Robert Vera is probably he's gonna ruin us again. That's what I say. You gotta fire him now. You gotta fire him now before he gets Derek Carr or I don't know. I don't want to say Geno Smith because he played well enough. I can't hate on him. But like before he gets a free agent, a third tier free agent quarterback to come in instead of playing Sam Howell.
What we're saying is Ron Rivera is Frank Reich, basically.
I mean, yeah, he's terrible. He can't be saved. And I know that like Ron Rivera, if he has his last season, he's not going to start Sam Howell. He's not. He's not going to be like,
Matt Ryan, come on down.
Oh God!
Be better off signing Cam Newton off the street, to be honest with you.
I mean, probably like if Ron Rivera doesn't like save his job, get fucking Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers in here, like then it's all for fucking naught. I mean, like let's get Ryan Tannehill. Like this is like that's like
that's the worst.
That's like the tier we're looking at.
Teddy Bridgewater.
It's gonna be like Garoppolo, best case.
Oh my gosh!
And honestly, Garoppolo might be a decent fit for us. To me, I feel like the Commanders are like the baby 49ers.
Just go up San Francisco and say, who do you want to trade? Trey Lance or Brock Purdy? Give me one of them.
Yeah, I think there might be a lot of calls like that this offseason.
There will be.
Man, I don't know what to say. Like, and it's funny. I feel like they'd have to trade Brock. If they don't win the Super Bowl, they have to trade Brock because at this point they'll get multiple
They will
high
get
round picks for Brock, where they picked him with the last pick. It's just like a value thing. So, but hey man, I think this is gonna have to
yes, sir.
We're gonna have to end it for us. Maybe we'll catch you guys a few more months before the NFL season, but just like
we'll do a podcast here and there, and
we'll catch up with you.
Rant some more,
motherfuckers. Yeah, that's right. Who knows? Maybe we'll get back here and talk about games. Maybe we'll start streaming. Who knows? It's like, I know one thing. I will be naked on OnlyFans.com. You can see right here at the at the bottom of the screen. Please subscribe and look at my balls. All right, I was like, but
promotion,
the Drunken Master Box. That's right. I'm gonna give you a free promotion right here.
Instaban.
It was like Instaban. Oh, are you gonna copyright this? You gonna copyright this, YouTube? Huh? Oh, I'll stop. Jesus Christ, man. They can't copyright that. That's all I'm saying.